this is yesterday's. Again, we did the first one, second one, just to make sure you did that correctly. Remember, if they just asked how many possibilities there are, the quick way is there was 5 fourth hours, 2 third hours, 1, 2, 3 here and 1 there. So 5 times 2 times 3 times 1 is 30. So if they just ask how many possible ways there are, that's all you got to do. But if they ask you what are the possible schedules, you can either make a list or you can make a table, which is just an organized list, or a tree, which is the easiest. So, if you make this tree, everyone put the iPads away, you got to make a 5-branch tree right away. And we could just use letters, remember, civics, CI, Phi Ed, PE, student aid, accounting, and computer. Then, for 5th hour, there's 2 branches. And again, you're going to need some room, so don't put them real close together. And there your choices are Algebra 2 and American History. So we just put A2 and AH. And then there was 3 choices, 6th hour. So each one of these has to have 3. And those were food, Spanish, and German. And then the last period, there was only 1 choice, study hall. So there's only 1 branch coming off of each of those. So those were all study halls. Okay? So, to count now, I mean, if you followed each branch, Phi Ed, Algebra 2, German, and then study hall. So there we can see there's 30 different paths that you could follow. So there's 30 different ways. There was one question where it said, did 7th hour affect how many possible choices there were? No. But did 7th hour affect how many possible outcomes there were?
No.
No, because it's still just one. There's 30 things here, and they only branch down 1 thing, so it's still just 30 because you only had 1 choice. So, if we put these together, if you were at this school, and you were able to make your own schedule for the whole day, so in the afternoon, we had 5 choices, 2 choices, 3 choices, 1. In the morning, you don't remember what it was? 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, and 2. So, in order to figure out how many different combinations of classes you could take, does everyone know what you would do?
You multiply.
Multiply them all together. 5 times 4 times 3 times 2, this was 24, this was 30. So when you multiply all those, if you made a one big tree diagram, all this, you'd have to have a huge piece of paper. It is 720 different combinations of classes that you could take if you had all these choices. So, Today we got a real easy problem. No. It's actually 4 problems, but. So again, I want to point out, if they just ask how many different things can happen, you just got to put the number. If they ask what are the different things that could happen, what do you got to do?
You gotta do the tree.
Tree diagram or a list. If they ask you to give a sample space is like the list or the tree diagram. Okay, so if you're buying a car and you can choose from 5 colors and 4 interior colors, and then 2-door or 4-door, and then we'll say, what's one other option you can have? We'll have convertible or regular. How many different combinations?
5 times 4 times 20, 40.
Times 4.
So remember, this is 2 choices, so it's 2.
80.
5 times 4 is 20, times 2 is 40, times 2 is 80.
Regular.
80 different combinations.
Uh-huh.
So if you had to write a tree diagram for this, your bottom would have 80 things across the bottom. So no, you'll never have to make one that big.
Oh.
Okay? Okay, on a license plate. Okay, on a license plate, and Minnesota anyway, do you know what the license plates, how they look?
3 letters.
3 letters,
3 numbers.
3 numbers. Okay?
I saw this one.
So, if they asked how many different combinations could there be on a license plate,
Many.
how many different letters could be?
26.
26. How about here?
26.
Because they can repeat, right?
Yep.
26. How about here?
9.
10, because you got to count 0.
Oh.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
10.
So there's 10 numbers. So to find out how many combinations there would be, it would be this times this times this times this times this times that. So obviously you wouldn't have to make a tree diagram of this. So there is 17,576,000 different combinations.
There's like so much attracting people. Some people see
Sorry, I had a hot dog.
Huh?
There's like so many other different parcels.
Yeah, there is.
What do they do then? Do they just add numbers?
Oh, I don't think this is just in Minnesota, you know,
Oh.
because each state has their own. And some of them have personalized license plates. Okay. Okay, if you and 4 friends, well, we'll make it smaller because you don't need to make it that big.
What's that? Your sister yesterday.
That's why you carrying boxes. She took a picture. And I was like, "Where's my food?" And she's like,
Should be.
Okay,
"It's frozen." So I was like,
if you and 3 friends are racing, how many ways can you finish? First, second, third, and fourth. So in this one is to figure this one out. How many different people could finish in first place?
3.
4. How many can finish in second place?
2, 3.
3, because someone has finished first already. So there's only 3 people left that can get second. So how many could finish third? 2, and then how many last? So 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. Okay? Now, if you had to show a sample space, which you do got to do a problem similar to this, to show the sample space, that's just the easiest way is to make a tree diagram. So you need to name your friends. You can just give them letters. So you could be A and they could be B, C, and D if you want. You can give them real names if you like writing. So to finish first, either A, B, C, or D could finish first, right? Then to finish second, since A got first, B, C, and D could finish second. Here, since B got second, A, C, and D could get third. And then in this one, A, B, and D. So this tree diagram takes a little more thinking. Then, so this is for the first place. This is for second place. If B gets second, there's only C and D left. If C does, there's only B and D. Everyone understand how we're doing this? Since we got A and D, then it's only C and or B and C. Then you got to do that here. B and A, so that's C and D. B and C, so that's A and D. B and D, so that's A and C. So then C and A would be B and D. C and B would be A and C. C and D would be A, B. A and D would be B, C. D and B would be A, C. D and C would be A, B. Then the last branch, there'd only be one option left for each one, right?
Yeah.
A, B, C, D. A, B, D, C. A, C, D, D. A, C, D, B. A, D, B, C. A, D, C, B. And then here be B, A, C, D, B, A, D, C. B, C, A, D. B, C, D, A. B, D, A, C. B, D, C, A.
Oh, no.
C, A, B, D. C, A, D, B. C, B, A, D. C, B. Oh, I messed up here. This should have been a D. C, B, D, A. And this would be B. And this would be A. And then here, D, A, B, C, D, A, C, B. Shh, quiet. D, B, A, C. This would be A. This would be B. And that would be A. Okay? So that would be the largest one you'd have to make. The one you got to do on your assignment isn't this big.
Yes.
Now, these, I got to cut them. There's 4 problems on each. There's not enough room to do it on here. So you can hand it in on a separate piece of paper. You don't need to hand these back in. Make sure your names are on it because 2 people handed in. You might want to look to see if you got a 0. The homework from the first day, there was 2 that handed in with no assignment. Homework day